Hello and welcome to my Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition blind playthrough. Today, after pretty long break due to some technical issues, I will be going for part number 45. And the plan for now, probably going back to the vanilla game and continue to the Twin Elms because kind of the first big boss of the luminescent cave which we have traversed in the last episode is a little bit too hard for my party at the moment. So let's continue and we'll see how it goes. Enjoy! So, as you can, this is my current party, and they got a little bit really ass kicked in the luminescent cave. So, the plan for now will be exchange Maneha and Zahua
Very well.
for Sagani and Palagina, I think. Oh, I will probably exchange Aloth with Grieving Mother as well. I just need to check. Oh, he doesn't have anything, so let's exchange him as well.
Farewell.
So, this will be our party for Twin Elms. But first, before sleeping,
Yes?
let's just level up Sagani and Palagina. What ability? We don't have ranged. So this one is pretty interesting. But I will take this one. Maybe the next time. And the Palagina. Hmm. Nope. Nope. This might be interesting. Healing chain. So, Sacred Immolation or Healing Chain? Which one to pick? I take this one. We'll see if it was a good choice or not.
Hmm?
Oops. So, let's take a nap. Oh, not before changing. Hmm. We'll see. Whatever. Let's go sleep and get the mechanics bonus.
Oh?
Let's check if we have any actions here. Oh, we should speak to Lord Benvigar. So, let's go there.
Not as beautiful as the Anguithan ruins near my home, but your fortress is impressive in its own little way.
Let's do this a little bit and you should go a little bit behind. Let's talk to the... If I could have a moment of your time? Well, of course, Mr. Bad Visitor. I've heard a lot about you, Lord Mamulian. You seem like a man who knows how to get results. I have a matter I'd like to discuss with you, if you'll hear me out. I would urge caution, my lord. Rold Benwigar has gained a reputation as a man of brutal temperament. Some would call him cruel. You hear the steward's soft-spoken words read in your head. Very well, let's hear it. You call your allies together and motions for the petitioner to step forward. As the ruler of Kednua, I'm sure you've seen your share of troublemakers. People determined to tear you down so you can share in their misery. I've had a few incidents on my land, rebel-rousing peasants, you see. Shameful as it is, they've gotten somewhat out of hand, refusing to work, threatening my guards, spouting this nonsense about unfair treatment. It's not as if I don't pay them. In any case, I fear they won't back down. The situation will only get worse if I don't put an end to it. Things may get a little messy, I doubt. It's best to consult you on the matter first. What exactly have these peasants been saying? Oh, the usual. Brinwinger folds his arms. That they don't enjoy the benefits of their labor, that they are treated too harshly. They're lazy, my lord, that's all. There is power and mercy, Lord Brinwinger. Treat the people fairly, and they'll be happy to work for you. It seems a soft approach, Brinwinger nose wrinkles. They'll think themselves victorious. Without people, you nothing to rule over but rocks and trees. Try showing at least a little respect. Briniger frowns, but there's a thoughtful look in his eye. I'll grant that there's some merit in what you say. Thank you, Lord Mamulian, for your time. Consider your words fine. Uh, I'll consider your words while our journey home. So, the Lord Birnvigar leaves the stronghold, and we'll see how
Oh?
he will take care of his peasants. But now, let's go to the Twin Elms.
Gelade, well done. A formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable.
So, let's go to Hearthsong. So, let's look around. A lot of places to visit.
And what does the flame reveal?
I have reached Twin Elms. The city has a front gate. With any luck, someone saw him when he passed through. I'll have to ask around. Nothing hidden outside? Probably not. So let's talk to Warrior. Estramor, still.
Estramore?
The warrior saunters over a sneer of suspicious visible beneath streaks of paint. He glances at your gear before favoring you with a long look. Another fugitive from the burning city? The six tribes of Ernglanfath welcome you to Twin Elms. Before you lies the Hearthsong district. You are free to explore it, but do not let your feet stray into the other districts. Those are forbidden to Estramorm. Uh, what can you tell me about Win Elms? The city is sacred to all Glenfaddens, as it is the place where our ancestors first encountered the Builders. That fated meeting turned our people from generations of wandering to a permanent home along the Builders' relics. When the Builders commanded us to settle here, they allowed us the unique privilege to live amongst their structures here. It is the only place in Air Glenfath where this is permitted. The sacred city is divided into four districts: Hearthsong, the Commons district; Old the site of our temples; Elm's Reach, home of the Lemgan and the Druids; and the Burial Isle, which is the most sacred place in the city. I'd like to hear about Hearthsong. This is Hearthsong. It's a place where Glenfaddans and Estramorm may gather together. It's also the site of the Passage of the Six, where our tribal leaders, the Anamfatha, meet. He points to a large round building and the other end of the district. That way is the market. Guard your purse there. No one bargains like a Glenfadden. And if you need a place to stay, follow the fence to the east. There you will find a way to the Celestial Sapling. Which temples lies in Olsong? There is Noonfrost, which is dedicated to Rimergand. A group of pale elves from the frozen Southlands arrived not long ago to oversee it. There is also the Nest, a temple of Hylia, and Galaven's Maw, a den of beasts dedicated to the hunter god. The road to the Burial Isle also lies that way. Tell me about Elm's Reach. There lies Ter Evron, one of the only towers of the builders still in perfect condition. Two great two great elm trees twine around it. Even the mightiest works of the gods protect the works of the builders. Two Delemgan sisters dwell there now. The Hall of Warriors stands at the other end of the districts. Rumor has it that Anamfath, Simuk of Three Tuskstelgar, is there now. Elm's Reach is also where the druids keep their halls. There are the Waits of the Golden Grew and the Ethic Knoll of Blood Scents. Many shudder at the brutal sacrifices of the Ethic Knoll, but High Ovate Arona is just as powerful in her own way. My watcher friend, Hiravias pipes up from behind you, I would be honored to accompany you to Elm's Reach to meet those druids, though I'm with wary of any circle with a reputation for brutal sacrifices. Do you know anything about the Burial Isle? It is the place where our Anamfatha are laid to rest among stones placed by the builders. They say the souls of some of the Anamfatha linger there still. The way lies through Allsong. It is the holiest place in all of Twin Elms. That's all I wanted to know about the city. Why is it forbidden to enter the remaining districts of Twin Elms? Twin Elms is a sacred city, built where the first keepers of the stone met the builders. It exists alongside the works of the builders, and it is the only place in all of Erglanfath where it is permitted to set foot amongst these sacred places. The Estramorm, however, do not have proper respect for the stones here. His words trigger something in your memory. You see an image of a perfect cube of Adra. Just as quickly the image fades. A leader of one of the tribes could give you the permission of the city. Only Anamenfath Bevthl is present in the Passage of the Six today, and she has her own troubles. He jerks his head at a long hut in the middle of the district. You have other questions about Twin Elms? I haven't heard of the Keepers of the Stone. The oldest of the six tribes, he points the tip of his sword at a long hut behind him, up the stairs and into the passage of the six. This is where our Anamfatha gather. Bethel and no, Menfath of the Gilded Compass can tell you more. Were the builders? You know them as Anguithans. To us, they are the builders, creators of the sacred places that we guard to this day. I'll keep your words in mind. Best that you keep your visit brief. Word has reached our ears that the riots have ended and the gates of Defiance Bay have opened once more. Foreigners are forbidden from going deeper into the city. They said that Anamenfath Bethel, currently presiding in the passage of the Six in the middle of Hearthsong, could grant me entry to the other districts.
Oh?
So,
I'll take a look.
let's wander a little bit around this district first. We live in peace, but we'll never submit to Estra Mormova. You have other questions about Twin Elms? I'll keep your words in mind. Let's check for a second. I think I'll give her another soulbound. Kill 3 enemies with strong souls. These NPCs are indicated by golden nameplates. Ouch! Or kill 15 enemies with Twin Stink to unlock the next level. Okay, I will go that way. Melee, ranged, melee, ranged. So let's check this one more time. This 3 ranged and everyone else is melee. Good.
Quiet.
Let's work.
Trees could use more of Magrin's touch.
It did happen. The warriors saw the strange man break into Ter Evron. How could the Estranor intruder sneak over the grounds of Elm's Reach? I assure you, they saw the man break into Ter Evron, and Orland dressed in thick furs appears, immersed in conversation. He locks his hands together to emphasize his point. I speak true. He commanded strange powers, they claim. An elven woman lifts her eyes from her furry companion and nods in your direction. Another foreigner. Did he look like this one? The Orlan turns around.
What brings you here?
What's Terevron? Terevron has stood since the time of the builders, and it will stand long after we're all gone. Yes, the tower stands strong, and the gods live within its sacred hall. It's no place for unclean souls, or foreigners. You said the gods live in Terevron. How is that possible? The mysteries of our ancestors are not for every foreigner to understand. In Twin Elms and the temples of the builders, the gods commune with us, be sated in knowing this truth. Tell me about the man you speak of. A strange man, a foreigner, broke into Terevron, the tower under the giant elms. Estramorm cannot walk the grounds of Elm's Reach. Why was he allowed to pass? This one was unseen. He wielded a strange power. No, we know. Goodbye. Glenfattens of Twin Elms have heard of a mysterious mine, a foreign ant that recently broke into one of their forbidden districts, Elm's Reach.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Let's speak with the hunter now. Oh, Ramnam Fata oversee Twin Elms from the passage of the Six. Green trails to Estramor. He wielded dark sorcery, the intruder. Our sacred halls of stars soiled by unclean feet. Another Kickstarter NPCs, which the Twin Stinger wants to kill, but we will not allow that. Not with this party. Oh. For shelter, stay at the inn on the southeast end of Hearthsong. This would be stealing, so no. Celestial sapling. Let's go see it. The water is cool and crisp. Renato and Noble. Merla, that Glenfattan which sold me useless twigs and herbs. Does she take me for a fool? This will not stand. I have been swindled, and Alari will pay for what she did. That ogre keeps looking at me like I urinated on some ruins. She'll pay. That witch. She'll. Fuming with anger and pacing in tiny circles, the Valen mansion aims his wild arms at you as you approach. You there! Have you come here to trade with the savages? Learn from my example and take your business elsewhere. Spittle accents his every sentence. Liars, cheats, swindlers. That duplicitous bitch Elari, she claimed to be selling Elart Gula flowerbats, but all I have now is 6 bushels of common house plants. The herbs are useless. He throws a handful of dried plants to the ground, stomping on the brittle stems and leaves kicking up pungent savory scent. I'll get my money back from that swindling savage. What do you intend to do about this? When I get my hands on... Renato held his sentence, his eyes darting about the nearby Glenfattan guards. I'm in the savage's home court, so it's my word against hers. Where does that leave me? I'd be a fool to threaten her here, on tribal soil. He sighs, pressing on his temples. I cannot sell this worthless herb to recover my coin, and I'm powerless to confront Alari. I don't suppose, he looks at you, sizing you up. If you were willing to meditate, perhaps you could succeed where I failed. I would of course pay you handsomely for your troubles. I will see what I can do. I met a rather enraged whaling merchant by the name of Renato in Hearthsong. It appears he purchased the pricey sum of Elart Gula, an aphrodisiac plant gathered in the deep jungles of Erglanfalf, However, he is convinced that Alari, the Glanfatan herbalist, sold him worthless goats. Renato intends on recovering his investment by any means necessary. Renato told me that he was sold a large land of poor quality by Alari, a merchant in Hearthsong market. I should speak with his Glenfattan woman and convince her to return the violent scoper.
I'll stay out of sight.
Welcome.
Renato smiles broadly and throws his arms in the air at your arrival. My friend, welcome back. Have you recovered my coin? Let me see what you have for sale. Renato looks away from you, scratching his neck and shifting his feet. I'm destitute and have but a few meager offerings left to sell. How dreadfully embarrassing. If I can recover my investment from Marari, I'll have funds to resupply my stores. Until then, you are welcome to take a look at what I still have in stock. There are some plants and blooms. The celestial sapling. This Glanfatan stares at you and then slowly blinks away. You want up? I pull. The pulleys and struts disappear into the branches of massive elm. The pulleys and struts disappear into the branches of a massive elm more than 100 feet overhead. So there is no way to get there yet. Everywhere I look, I see some tribesmen giving me the stink eye. They sure are an unwelcoming bunch. This Glenfattan woman carries herself with pride.
I'm on the trail.
We need a proper key for this, and it's Glenfattan home. Okay. We will get there in a second.
On the hunt.
Hunters and tribesmen. The pale elves have consumed the Fang's patience. No, they will not throw them out of the Rimgrau temple.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
The stones have been worn smooth by centuries of wind and rain.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
The guard places his spear between you and the path that leads beyond the gates. Still, Estramor, the rest of the city is forbidden except by the order of one of Anamfatha. Trespassing in Twilmans is punishable by death. How do I get permission from one of the Anamfatha? He grudgingly points to a long hut in the middle of the district. You can always find one of the Anamfatha in the Passage of the Six. Perhaps Anamfatha's Bethel will listen if she can tolerate your barbaric language. I was told that foreigners are not allowed beyond Hearthsong. I will have to speak to the presiding Anamenfath in the Passage of the Six to get the permission. Oh, a new quest and the stronghold. Ringfinger. Niden was a grandfather murderer who was notorious for both his brutality and his ability to avoid capture by the tribe's best hunters. When he was finally captured and put to death, his body was buried in a secret place near Kliaban Rilak. Rio had given the unusual recommendation in the hopes that the Egwitan rune would capture the killer's souls and prevent it from returning to the wheel. During a recent cleansing celebration, an Orlan child stumbled across Niden's grave. Not realizing what she found, she told her parents, who guessed what it was and in turn told other members of the tribe. Within a day, Niden's burial site has been plundered by a few foolhardy Glanfadans. The body carried the weight for ritual purposes. All that remained was the ring finger from his right hand. The Anamfata obeys the rule of use of Niden's body for preparing sacred objects and will reward anyone who can return it to them. So, who will be going? You. Ah, lockpicks.
Yes?
I'll stay out of sight.
So let's go a little bit around and then to the higher ground. Nothing's just some mushrooms and a cake.
Slowly now.
Let's go here first. Despite its apparently crude construction, the angles of the sod roof are perfectly symmetrical. It hums and vibrates at the activity within. Do not try my patience, Estramor. You shall not pass without the permission of Anamfada. Walk away.
To whispers and shadows.
Step lightly, foreigner. All tribes have a place of honor here. Step lightly, foreigner. As you say. So let's go here first to the Hearthsong market. The rains have run their courses and trade has returned, and with it Tamara's impatience. Words are empty without strength to back them up. Hearthsong market. Nothing here? So let's go inside. Cat. And another one.
Slowly now.
Careful thought, so much indeed. Did the builders make such grand things where you live? Alari has left the Hearthsong market, perhaps having learned that Renato enlisted me to pursue the Elargulach. I should find out where the herbalist has gone. Boo-hoo.
Builder's wisdom to you.
You have the look of a hunter, Estramor. Derm's weapons may protect the man who seeks out misfortune, but my supplies will help you to survive out in the wilds. May I see your wares? Renant nods, gesturing to his goods with a sweep of his arm. Oh, I'm Renet, 100 mace. Dragon, ouch, too expensive. Paladin plus 2 intellect. Let's see what my paladin is using. Hmm. Do we have something of intellect or not? Yes. Oh, so no cloak for me at the moment. The mask of strange roots and herbs pervades these
I'm on the
shelves.
trail.
A young girl looks about the market with a disinterested gaze. As you near, she snaps to attention and straightens her posture. Welcome, Estramor, she says with a curtsy. Alari is not here, so I'm running the shop while she's away. She glides her hands in front of the display cases of poultices and remedies. If you are looking for herbs, tinctures, oils, or ointments, then I'll got everything you'll ever need. I'm looking for Lalari. Where might I find her? She lives not far from here. The little girl points at the exit out of the market. Climb up the stairs at the top. There's a circle of ruins. Do you know it? It's on the north side of Hearthsong. Anyway, her house is right there. The door faces those ruins. Please show me where's. Her smile widens at your request. Of course, have a look. Oceans. Good to know. Even Alar's apprentice told me the herbalist is currently at her dwelling in the Hearthsong district. I should find Alari there if I want to confront her about tricking Renatos out of his investment. Even told me that Alarli lives in a dwelling at the northern edge of Hearthsong, upstairs from the marketplace.
Be cautious. Be constant.
Ripe and juicy, the fruits give slightly under your thumb.
Hail, Estremor.
Some food for your travels? I hold here many delicious cheeses and fresh fruit. Tell me about your trade. Ah, my life is simple and makes a poor tale. I tend the gardens and my herd, and my family picks this delicious fruit you see behind me. The gods have been kind. Let me see what you have. You will not regret it, but please, no tasting. Good.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Good to admit these folks know how to make weapons. Let's see.
Estremor.
This thick-framed woman smiles broadly as you approach. Ah, I see that you heard it. A good blade has a voice, and it sings to its wielder. That weapon called you forward? What weapon called you forward? I like my weapon silent, actually. Perhaps bow then. You can fell a boar from 100 paces with one of these. Maybe you prefer something small. I hold here many fine daggers. I know there is something here to your liking. Let me see your wares. Look all you wish. My weapons are the pride of Erglanfath. Uh, Club. Interesting. This might be good for Adair. We'll think about the star color a little bit. Interesting armor. It's 8 damage reduction. So let's see. 14, 11, 14, 16, 9. I think it's time maybe to buy him something better.
Estremor.
You will need better weapons for the hunt, so it is good that I can provide this for you. Let me see your wares. Look all you wish. My weapons are the pride of Ernglenfath. Minus 45. It's 13. Nope. Oh, whatever. Let's get it for my main character. The fine-grained wood of the shields has been polished to a smooth, even finish. The trade with the tribes has resumed.
Quiet.
A heavily oily scent emanates from the heights.
Hail, Estramor.
This tall woman is clad in furred hides. She settles a sharp, dark eyes gaze on you. I hold here the best hides in Erglenfat, hides so thick the stalker cannot claw through. Boots to boots so supple they will smooth the sounds of your steps. What's your trade? I bear it on my skin. I sell hides from every one of Galavan's beasts. Estramorm come from every village to see them, and known us for great hunters. Every hide bears the tale of a great hunt, and outriders bear them and turn to every corner of our lands. May I see your wares? Then here, look upon the bounty our hunters have provided us. Nothing special. That's it.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Careful, thought souls much indeed. Pumping in the quark and orange tabbycat. A tabbycat snaps out of its placid stupor as you approach. It opened its eyes wide, following your every step, before trotting to your side to rub against your legs. You have gained an item. Awesome.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Time to exchange.
On the hunt.
The pedestal's shadow creeps around the dice. Do not try my patience, Estramor. You shall not pass without the permission of the Anafata. Walk away.
And what does the flame reveal?
One more mushroom. Looks like I checked everything, so let's see the houses and then the passage of the six. Watch your word, Simuk is an Anamphadath. Still, your heart sister's Erhadam's child is safe with him. No, Simuk's heart will not have mourn for foster child. Seeds and husks have been scattered across the floor. And we see a Lancy. The edge of the shelf is daubed with burnt lime.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Welcome to my home, Estramor. I'm Lancy, healer and guide. What brings you here? I like your songbird. Does it have a name? Well, he does, she blushes. But I ought not to have let my friend's daughter name him. The name is long and rather silly. The short version is Beaker. She rolls her eyes and smiles. The next bird I have will be named after Anamfath. Tell me about yourself. The locals call me a wise woman, a term of respect, I am sure, but it makes me feel my years. I am an herbalist and a healer. I spend most of my time caring for the ill, helping with the delivery of children, and making remedies for those in pain. I should be going. Oh, not again. Walk away. I found Alari at her dwelling in Hearthsong. She is surrounded by Glanfatan warriors, seemingly ready to defend her at all costs.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Spread across a lumpy pallet of straw, the hide blankets are surprisingly soft. The dried herbs crunch between your fingers, giving off a sweet floral aroma. So, let's talk to her. An old elven woman stands tall and proud, surrounded by Glanfatan warriors that study your every move. You speak on Renato's behalf, I presume. I knew he would convince someone to do his bidding. I did not suspect it would be the Estramor involved and all the house at Defiance Bay. She tilts her head to the side and blinks slowly. Does the presence of my armed entourage concerns you? You were expecting the defenseless shopkeeper, am I right? Alari raises her dye-stained hand just as one of her guards begin to lurch forward. Stillness, she barks at her attendant. Give the Stramor a chance to speak. We are not dear wooden beasts. Here hospitality reigns. Alari nods to you, holding up an open hand, her palm and fingers covered in blue and green dye. Envoy of the Valiant, speak the message you were sent to deliver. I want to hear your side of the story. The first step of any sensible path, she muses, scratching her chin. Rinaldo did purchase from me several bushes of Elardula, and for it he paid a high price, but did so willingly, saying it was a bargain, right as he handed me his copper. It was after our trade that the Valen spits his venom. Alari voices groans angry. Renato accused me of trickery, of fraud, claiming I delivered withered likenesses of Elard Gula and not the genuine root. Such nerve, for in truth he is beyond the help of Elard Gula. She holds a blue-dyed finger in the air before curling it down slowly, smiling as she does. Renato's old bow isn't firm enough for a full draw. No amount of Eralgula will give him the spear of a young hunter. A fair deal was made, and now Renatus objects, angry that his withered family plow is beyond herbal remedies. She shakes her head, her voice becoming a growl. I have never sold anyone a remedy I knew to be false. If Renato does not silence his slanderous tongues, we will do it for him. What kind of punishment do you have in mind for Renato? Renato has slandered his host, making him no longer a guest. The merchant must vanish from the Twin Elms. She crosses her arms under the sleeves of her robe. But Glenfathan hospitality must be observed, always. He is to be given a chance to live on his feet before he bleeds on his back. Devil, in our name, a warning. Tell Renato that if he does not leave, he will be accused of conspiring to pilfer Angvitan relics from our lands. He won't risk a trial by the Council of Aramfada. Alari draws a wooden cage from the folds of her robe. If he won't listen, tell him that his faulty member will end in a cage, just like this black beetle. Food for our birds. The reputation of your tribe is tied to your actions. Is that how you want future trading partners to remember your kin? The Glenfathan looks at each other, faces alight with disagreement. A murmur of voices rise around the dwelling's hearth until Alari, eyes shut tight, stomps on the ground with force. Enough! Stillness! She waits until her breath and voice die down before opening her eyes. You speak with long-sighted judgment. Trade strengthens all of the tribes, and Renato's climb, false as it is, may spread to poison us. We will suffer the indignity of letting this liar profit if it means safeguarding the peaceful, honorable accord of Twin Elms. Alari pulls up one sleeve, revealing a leather bag hanging from her hand. The clinking of copper fills the room. Take this back to the Valen with the blessings of the Fishy Crane tribe. I recovered the money that Renato paid Alari for the Elargolan. I should find Renato in Hearthsong, buy the lift to the Celestial Saplings, and return the coins to him. What's the tiny beetle? A pet? One more. Return to your violin master, Estremor. There is nothing further to discuss. Okay. As you wish. And unfat or not, his spirit hungers for power in his old age. Why would Simok foster the Elenfat child from another tribe then? Fear of that curdles not only blood, but the spirit.
Well met, friend.
Renato smiles broadly and throws his arms in the air at your arrival. My friend, welcome back. Have you recovered my coin? I've got your coin back. Diverus! Renato's eyes widen as his hands greedily snatch the purse. Perfetto! I had almost given up hope. Renato counts the coins, smiling with each cling of copper. My thanks to you, friend. With this, I can finally restock my wares. Come, find me at the Celestial Sapling. I'm sure I can find some choice items for our resourceful customers like yourself. Oh, Twin Elms moderative negative? Didn't expect that. Boo-hoo. Let's check. I was able to get Renato's money back from Alari, the Glenfattan merchants who duped him into buying a aphrodisiac remedy. I returned the coin to Renato. He offered to sell me his special wares in compensation for my effort. Let's see how... Oh, we are neutral again. Boo. Hoo. We'll see. I hopefully get a little bit of reputation. But let's get to the sapling in. You see a problem? I throw it over the side. Could buy passage to the Republics, maybe? This man looks up sharply as you approach, eyes going wide. You're the one he's looking for. He sets down his wine. You killed Lord Redrick. What if I did? No, you don't understand. It didn't work. I'm one of the guards at the keep. Was one of the guards. He's killed most of them. The ones you didn't. Kost. He didn't last very long. Nothing but empty air. Him. Nice enough to work for, I mean, much nicer, but that didn't help him when Redrick came back. Gods, the screaming. His eyes. It was like he was burning inside, he shudders. He says he's come back to lead us, like before. Say he's going to kill you for what you've done. I told him I'd find you, give you his challenge, do it all honorable, that sort of thing. He let me go, and I kept on running far as my coin let me. He laughs bleakly. Funny, me running into you anyhow. And what's your stake in all this? What? Nothing. I don't meant to go back there as long as I live. I figure I'll find here in Twin Elms somewhere, even if I have to guard some hut dwellers' clothes or something. Until then, I plan to drink until I don't remember any of what happened. Good luck to you. There's something awful out there howling after your blood. Having slain Lord Redrick, I thought Gilded Vale freed from his influence, but it seems that something stirs in that great keep yet. This may be the work of a new usurper after the throne, or mere superstition. Either way, it may be worth investigation. While in the Celestial Sapling in Twin Elms, I encountered a former guard from Gilded Vale. He claims that Lord Redrick himself has returned to his keep, despite his having died at my hand. Apparently, Redrick seeks vengeance upon me for having ended his life, and has issued a challenge. It may be worth investigating, in any case. Interesting. Everywhere I look, I see some tribesmen giving me some stink eye. They sure are an unwelcoming bunch.
Slowly now.
The unusual stone pulses with warmth. Renato is here again. Let's see. Have a moment, I would like a word with you. Maybe.
Hello!
A slender woman in dusty leathers locks eyes with you. It's good to see someone from more civilized lands around here. Her unkempt hair sprouts in wavy black tufts. Despite the fine features that sculpts her face, a cleft chin completes her boyish appearance. I'm learning firsthand the many shortcomings of Glenfatton hospitality. Her gloved hands come to rest on the pommel of a longer stock clenched low on her hip. I can almost forgive the hostility towards outsiders, but the temperate taverns and these watered-down drinks, inexcusable. I hope I don't seem too forward, but I've heard of you. A sly smile curves a dimple on her cheek. You're famed among the dozens, and that makes us allies. She gives you a coquettish sideway glance. And allies, well, they help each other, do they not? Who are you? The woman pats the dust of her leggings and gives you an exaggerated curtsy. Where did I leave my ambassadorial manners? She flashes a mocking smile. I'm Swineth. Pleasure to meet you. She lifts an eyebrow with a blushing smirk. For the time being, though, I'm just another Estramor minding her own business. What help do you need? My friends have drawn some unwanted attention. Swineth looks to both sides, scanning for uninvited listeners. Glenfatton scouts, and not just any mop of local zealots. The Fangs. She pauses to let the name settle in the air. The Fangs are brutal, relentless bunch, eager to make an example of troublesome outsiders. As for why I need your help, her smile widens as she speaks, I need someone to warn the expedition that trouble is coming. And I need somebody, and I need someone to fight, if it comes to that. She taps her hand on the pommel of her stock. With any luck, we'll reach my friends before the Fangs do. But if not, the Fangs have a reputation to uphold, so this might require spilling blood. Why aren't you with the rest of your friends? Why not warn them yourself? Her posture stiffens at the question. It was my turn to handle for patrol. I spotted the Fangs on my trek back to camp. I knew that rejoining the main group would risk leading the enemy right back to the expedition. I know the woods and I know how to stay quiet, but I didn't want to stake my friends' lives on my ability to sneak past expert hunters like the Fangs. If they noticed me warning my friends, we'd have been overrun. Svinet tilts her head to the side and points to you with a grin. But if they notice me and some reinforcements, like say you, well, at least then we can scare them off or put up a good fight. What did your friends do to draw the attention of the Fangs? Just setting foot in Erglenfath is a good way to offend the tribes. I don't know how they picked up our trail. I suspect one of our newer scouts didn't cover his tracks well enough. When I spotted the Fangs, they were retracing a path the expedition had taken days before. Tell me more about your expedition. I like to think we're on a mission of reclamation. Svinet darts a shrewd smile. It is said that our armies left behind many valuables, and their hasty retreat from Erglanfath at the end of the War of the Black Trees. So, the way I see it, we're simply gathering up what our ancestors left behind. I doubt the Glanfatans agree with me on this. My expedition set out from Defiance Bay, heading directly east to cross into Glenfattan lands. I split off once we arrived at the Bale, the natural frontier between our nations. The plan was for me to keep my eyes on the Glenfattans while the main group scoured the target area. For days we eluded them. She waltzed her fingers over the back of her leather glove, leaving a trail on its dusty surface. But the fangs got wise to our presence. I'll help you warn the expedition. Svinet smiles with an overt display of dimples. Excellent. I knew I could count on you. She leans in and whispers, assuming the fangs didn't already get them. My friends should now be at around the Pilgrim's Trail in the Northveld. The plan was to camp along a trail leading to a temple of Hylia. Find my comrades, warn them the fangs are coming, and help them clear out of the forest. I'll head out first on my own to see if I can lead the fangs astray and buy us some time. She pulls her astok a few inches out of his scabbard and cracks a smile. If the god smiles on us, we won't have to draw steel. Should it come to that, I'm glad you are on our side. Svinet, their wooden scout, has come to Twin Elms to find help for her friends, who are on an expedition to recover lost artifacts. Though the group hasn't been directly confronted by the Glenfattans yet, Svinet was on patrol and discovered that the local sentries have already caught scent of her expedition. Svinet asked me to warn her mercenary companions about the impending danger while she attempts to thwart the scouting efforts of the pursuing Glenfattans. Svinet, their wooden scout I met at the Celestial Saplings in Twin Elms, asked me to warn her expedition of an impending Glenfattan ambush. I am to find the expedition at the Northveld, by the side of the path leading to Hylia's temple. Where is that? Here. It will take some time to get there. Probably through Hearthsong.
Silence surrounds me.
A cool breeze whistles through the leaves. The bed rocks with the gentle swaying of the tree. That's it. You see a problem, I throw it over the side. Renato smiles as you approach, his arms outstretched to greet you. My friend, you have returned. He smacks his hands together and rubs them intently. So, care to see my special selection? Show me what you've got. Traps. A lot of traps. And drugs. And Flowers. Good to know. Um,
Hail and well met.
a middle-aged elven man stands behind the counter of the inn. He has a warm, open face and smiles pleasantly in greeting as you approach. Welcome, welcome. I'm always glad to see a new face. Take a seat where you like. My friend, it seems to me you walk a long road. All are welcome here, and those with interesting stories most welcome of all. Who are you? My name is Elitherion. They call me the Haggard shoes for all the walking I used to do, and all the boots I wore down, but those days are well behind me. My eyes have seen a great deal, and now my ears get their fill from the travellers who come through here. I'm always glad to see a new face. Take a seat where you like, my friend. It seems to me you walk a long road. All are welcome here, and those with interesting stories most welcome of all. Tell me about this place. Of course, Elitarian's face brightens. I founded the inn many years ago, but in many ways its tale begins much earlier. It was while I was returning from a long journey south that I first heard the story of the tree upon which this inn rests. Hundreds of years ago, a strange event occurred. The sky was troubled that night, with many stars falling across the sky, and one of those same stars began to plummet. Instead, towards Eora, it fell here, striking a young tree and burying itself within it like a fiery heart. But the tree survived, and over the years it grew and grew and grew, twice as big as its fellows in half the time, until it reached the size you see now, and grew no more. Hearing the tale, I knew I must find the truth. And you see it there. He gestures toward the large stone at the center of the room. Around the tree's heart, I built this inn to welcome all travelers who might look upon it. Always glad to see a new face. Take a seat where you like, my friend. Can I see what you have for sale? Of course, we offer meals and supplies. Have a look. What's this? Plus 5% melee damage. Whisper of Treason.
To whispers and shadows.
The bed rocks with the gentle swing of the tree. Let's talk to High Monk now.
Hail and well met.
The monk massages his temples, his face buried in his palm. As you approach, he looks up. This room needs a proper door, he mutters. My brothers and I rented this space that we may have some measure of privacy in this foreign land. Perhaps you could find another room here in the inn. Who are you? Briefly opening his mouth to answer, the monk swallows his words. He looks you up and down, carefully choosing his response. My brothers and I were having a private discussion in a room we rented for our use. Please, there is a tavern full of people who would provide you with the banter you seek. What brings your order to this place? We travel where the teachings take us, the monk mutters, his voice slow and measured. Not that it is any of your business. I met another monk in robes like your own. He died of his wounds right as I found him. The monk's eyes widen, his fists curl in a crackling barrage of popping joints. Robes like ours, you say? Was he carrying anything? Did he tell you anything? Hand you anything? Please, we've been waiting for another 4 hours to meet us here, and if we found him, all eyes fall to the floor as the monks begin to whisper chants in unison to their fallen friends. Show him the message. He gave me this missive. Hand me that, the monk exclaims as he snatches the missive from your grasp. Almost immediately his face turns red. I mean, please, this is of great importance. Breaking the seals, the monk unrolls the handwritten scroll contained within and quickly reads the message, his lips breathlessly mouthing the text. He turns to address his brothers. My brethren, the arch-martyr has sent word. At long last, we now have what we need. Thank you, stranger, the monk says, folding his hands in front of him as he bows deeply. Your honest soul is to be applauded. I admit I was surprised when you handed me the message. I expected the seals to be broken. The monk turns red, his face smiling for the first time. I am glad to see Commander Sensei is not yet lost from this world. He reaches into the folds of his robes. Here, your honesty must be rewarded. I stumbled across a monk in Elmshore that was attacked by Stelgar pack in his last dying moments. I returned the message with the seal intact to the monks. Did I get anything? Alia Braccia? What is that? A small shield. Interesting. We'll see. Let's use it for a while. Thank you again for delivering the message. Our brother was wise to entrust you with completing his final mission. We are still neutral. Okay, I think that's everything in the inn. Okay, let's go now to the Passage of the Six.
On the hunt.
The Three-Tusk Stelgar. Keepers, Compass, Crane, Stelgars, Arrows, and Brambles in this hall. All six Glenfetten tribes come together as one people, or at least tradition suggests that we try to behave as one. Oh, I forgot that I leveled up. Power's tactical mount. And talents. I use this one. Getting plus health can be useful for more characters. And here is what you have here. Let's stay that way yet. Oh. This might be interesting. Let's take the burn. We will still go to the north and this might be useful. Okay, that's it. All level ups, so we can continue.
To whispers and shadows.
The twice split arrows. The three tusk stelgar. Yes, I'm sure the Anamphata will not commune together for a season, at least. The stone bramble. The fish grain. The keepers of the stone. And the guide compass.
Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath. If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathens weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
What other options do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodens.
It's the right thing to do. The Deerwoodens are at the mercy of the Republics and they don't even know it. Your actions today can prevent further suffering. She nods her head resolutely.
I'll stay out of sight.
Another Estramore. What do you want?
A middle-aged worn woman stands at the back of the longhouse, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a decisive steps towards you. Sagan leans in. Careful. This woman's young for an elder, and looking to prove herself, I think. I'm looking for another who passed through the city.
Few Estramoran are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious. There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons I am coming to understand.
Perhaps we can work out an arrangement. I've no wish to cause a stir. She shakes her head. I'm afraid not.
Looters have grown bolder at the sites of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the three Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
Suddenly, you feel the presence of someone else in the hall. The Anamenfath continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin. It reaches out to you.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamfath Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
A vision of an Orlan man appears near Brethel. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them. He points behind you. Turning, you see a ghostly shapes of 5 other Anamfada, another Orlan with fawn fur and scarred face, a frowning dwarf, a Blackford Orlan, and 2 elves. You're the leader of the Gilded Compass. I thought your tribe was more open to outsiders. Indeed, and it has earned us little respect from our peers. These are not times when trusts come easily. The spectral Oron takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strains between them, and he grimaces and leans forward as if struggling against the gale. The angry Anamenfath winces. War. The spectral Oron's voice is a rasping croak. They're headed for war. Remind them of Futil's warning. Does Fertle's warning meant anything to you? Fertle's soul image gasps. Though threads of essence took at him, drawing him back into the animate path. He looks up at you again. I try to tell them. The builder's souls have touched him and the Estramorm.
You'd better explain yourself.
The builder's souls have touched even the Estramorm.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anams, a watcher of souls.
Fertile tried to warn the other tribes about something. What was it?
Feralt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt, My ancestor on my mother's side was Anamfoth of our tribe then. When the Estromoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Feralt urged the other Anamfotha to patience, but louder, angrier voices prevailed. Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
After 2 wars with the Deerwood, his warning is more relevant than ever.
While Feralt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
An image of polished Adra cube flashes into your mind. There is writing on the sides, but the image is too faint for you to read it. The Anamenfath turns away from you and looks at the ground, gnawing a pointed claw. You can change the past, but your choices now still matter. She looks at you sadly. Yes, that is the problem.
Another Estromor came through here a few days ago and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estromoran. One that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
Then now's the time to fix things.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar twin elms from Estromoran to protect the ancient places that the builders left behind. The builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
You again see the polished Adra cornerstone in your mind. This time, the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. You feel your lips form words. A gift from the builders of civilizations, of the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
I know.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Evron in Elm's Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. What are the 6 tribes? Clan society is divided into tribes which are further divided into clans. Each tribe is united by a particular history or way of life, and clans are communities of families that live together. In truth, there are more than 6 tribes, but the 6 largest have traditionally led the others. Each of the 6 has a seat here in the Passage of the 6, where we discuss a matter of common interest. You saw, for instance, the debate that occurred before the Broken Stone War. She gives you a hesitant look. The 6 tribes are the Keepers of the Stone, Fisher Crane, 3-Tusked Stelgar, Stone Bramble, Twice Split Arrows, and of course, the Guided Compass. Who are the Keepers of the Stone? They are the first and oldest of the tribes. When they first sailed to Erglanfath, they met the builders, who gave them the cornerstone, and those words you quoted as a token of friendship. Many of the tribes, even amongst the six, looks for the keepers for the guidance and leadership. Their long history grants them a place of honor in our society, though it has also made me more conservative in my observation. I'd like to hear about Fishergrain. Mostly Orland tribe from the Tainbog. Most of the sites they guard are half buried in the wetlands, and even the other tribes couldn't tell you where they are. She crosses her arms. They are not the most renowned of the tribes, but they are the cleverest and subtlest. Say what you will about the berserker of three-tusked Selgar, I'd rather face them than a fisher crane ambush squid any day. They're named after a long-necked bird that lives in the bog. It can stand motionless for hours, waiting for a muck frog or a spotted salamander, but when it strikes, it's faster than anything. What do you know about three-tusked Stelgear? She laughs and shakes her head. Same as everybody. They are fearless maniacs and they want everyone to know it. They're considered a wild bunch, even amongst the Glenfaddens. Many of their territories have seen the most conflicts with the Estramormon, and they don't forget it. They don't want anyone else to either. They inflicted and bore some of the heaviest casualties in the wars with Estramormor. In fact, there was a rift within Three Tusk Stelgar after the War of Black Trees. Dozens of clans broke away from the ravaged lands and retreated further into the Deerwood, joining whichever tribes would take them. Broken tusks, some call them. The majority of the tribe took into the half-burned forests to hold the line, and many respect them for it. She frowns uneasily. They're more than earned their place among the six, but they advocate more conflict than is wise, and to many others they are quick to idolize them for their valor in battle. Tell me about Stone Bramble. Mostly dwarves out of the Wide March. They're one of the younger tribes, formed over the years by trade routes between the wilds and the mountains. They see themselves as genuinely Glenfattan though, and who can argue with them? Only Fishgrain defends sites in such inhospitable territory. Personally, though, I'd say it's gone to their heads. They like to think the rest of us have it easy in the lowlands, forgetting that the wars with the Estravormr never reached their mountains. Still, they came to our aid during both. They're named for a tough, thorny little plant that grows in the mountains. It suits them. I'm not familiar with the twice split arrows. Not many are. They're traditionally outcasts and exiles from other tribes, probably the least respected tribes of them all, but our ancestors believed they should have a voice, and so they got a seat among six. Most of the other tribes see them as scavengers and bottom feeders, but don't say that to Twice Arrow. They think themselves survivors, and they're as proud of their tribe as anyone else. She shrugs. They'll accept anyone, and I suppose there's virtue in that. You never know what you're getting with them, though. Some clans rob you blind, and others slaughter a lamb for the honor of your visit. The Gilded Compass is your tribe, right? Indeed, we're one of the younger tribes, and not one of the most prestigious. We've tried to keep the peace with the Estramorm, which has earned us the reputation of appeasers among some of our hardline brethren in Tritas Telger and the Keepers of the Stone. We value our heritage as Glenfaddens, but we recognize that the Estramorm are here to stay. The way we see it, we can better follow our mandate to protect the places of the builders by making peace with our neighbors. I'd like to ask about another matter. Something else you would know? I'd like to know more about you. I am the Anamenfath of the Gilded Compass. Like many Anamenfatha, I have leadership in my blood. While tribal authority is not strictly hereditary, we believe that strong leaders can impart the potion of their soul to their children and grandchildren, meaning that Anamenfatha may succeed from a single line from many generations. She worries, sharpened some claw. Of course, with all that's happened here lately, I've wondered whether my family's line is coming to an end with me. One of my companions, a representative of the Valian Republics, wishes to discuss a trade issue with you. The Orlan turns her gaze towards Palagina. Yes, the Valian godlike, blessed of Hylia. Palagina bristles and quickly spits out a response. So they say. The Anamenfath face shows no outward emotion, but the voice betrays annoyance at Palagina's interruption. And diplomat of the Duck's Bells, I understand you were to be sent here with trade assurances from your masters. Revered Anamenfath, it is true that I was chosen to convey these assurances, but understand that I was fashioned more for war than etiquette. The Orlan smirked slightly. In these dangerous times, perhaps it is better to send warriors to diplomats to do diplomats' work. Palagina musters a weak smile. Indeed, Anamenfath, regarding the exclusive trade agreement, her voice quivered slightly, and her golden eyes dart in your direction. Nod head, smiling warmly. Palagina still herself. The Republics feel it would be in the best long-term interest of all parties if you maintained your traditional goods trades with the Deerwood. The Anamenfath's long ears pitched forward. A strange turn. What do the Republics want then? Palagina speaks quickly but confidentially. Taudratara pearls. Trade will be picking up quickly on them in the Eastern Reach. You will buy them exclusively from us for the next 5 years. In exchange, we will be your exclusive market for Adraban and Kerogolan for the same period. The Anamenfath considers Palagina's words for several long moments. An interesting proposition, Valen. We will send emissaries south to discuss the details at greater length. Your appearance here speaks well of your duke's intentions. Palagina bows deeply. Revered Anamenfath.
That's it. My position in the Brotherhood gone. I can't believe I just made up new trade terms to the Glanfath and Anamenfath. Postinago.
Palagina, you did the right thing for the Republics, even if the dukes can't see it from their vantage. You can deal with their disapproval later.
Verus. They have a saying in Biajepe. New gold clears even the oldest debts. If I'm right, all will be forgiven. If not, there's nothing I can do about it now.
Anamenfath Battle has granted me access to the Oldsong and Elms Ridge district. She suggests that I speak with the Delemgan sisters in Elms Ridge, near a place called Tier Evron. Palagina changed the terms of the trade agreement the Dukes and the Valen Republics had given her, preventing the Republics from stealing the Glenfatten trade. In doing so, she preserved relationship between the Deerwoods and the Republics, but if the Republics ultimately gain nothing from this deal, Palagina will lose her position in her order. Oh, Ringfinger is finished. Nidan was a Glenfatten murderer who was notorious for both his brutality and his ability to avoid capture by the tribe's best hunters. When he was finally captured and put to death, his body was buried in a secret place near Kliaban Rilak. Rio had given the unusual recommendation in the hopes that the Angwitan ruin would capture the killer's soul and prevent it from returning to the wheel. during a recent cleansing celebration, an Orlan child stumbles across Niden's grave, not realizing what she had found. She told her parents, who guessed what it was, and in turn told other members of their tribe. Within the day, Niden burial site had been plundered by a few foolhardy Glenfaddens. The body carried away for ritual purposes. All that remained was the ring finger from his right hand. The Anamphata oppose the use of Niden's body for preparing sacred objects and will reward anyone who can return to them. The hunt for Niden's remains proved difficult, as the Glenfaddens lied incessantly to cover for those who were responsible, and Orlan Brishalgwin helped Zahua sort the truth out, eventually recovering part of the dead murderer's body. Though the Glenfaddens were more than willing to lie about what they had done, none of them turned violent when Zahua and Brishalgwin confronted them. And Nanamphath ordered the Brishalgwin to bury the body in the new location that was less well traveled than the path near Kliaban Rilak. Upon returning to Kednua, Zahua realized that the Anamphath had never asked for Niden's right finger to be returned. Niden's finger. Constitution +3. Interesting. Let's see, what do we have for next? No constitution. Oh, so maybe someone else. Well, we will pick it up later in the Kednoa. The dragon skull is brown with age and polished smooth. So we finally arrived at Twin Elms, and I think this will be it for today. We got some new quests and we will slowly follow them the next episode. So thank you for watching, and I really appreciated your being here with me. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Sorry, follow me on Twitch, Mixer, or subscribe on my YouTube channel. So, as always, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. See you some other time soon.